This time we're going to do still problem E6-19 on page 363, but this time we're going to use the last in first out method. Alright, so we're still tracking our purchases, cost of goods sold, inventory on hand, still using the same kind of chart. So if you don't have one, pause and make a chart like this with the three main headings: purchases, cost of goods sold, inventory on hand, and the three subheadings: quantity, unit cost, total cost. And of course we have a column for the date. Alright, so to do LIFO, last in first out, we still have to keep track of our inventory in the order it comes in. So let's start doing that. We're going to begin with an inventory of 13 dolls that cost us $9 each. So on 12/1, it's not a purchase. This is just our beginning inventory. So we have inventory on hand, right? We have 13 dolls at $9 each for a total cost of $117. So that's no different than before. If you've watched the FIFO tape, you'll know that's the same thing. All right, so we've got 13, 9 for a total of 117 inventory on hand. All right, next we make a sale. 8 dolls, 8 units, and we sell them for 22 each. But remember, that's not what we're tracking at this time. Nowhere in here does it say we're tracking revenues. We're tracking costs. So the point is to track these costs, the unit costs when we purchase them. All right, so we sell, so that's going to be cost of goods sold. So it's going in this column. 8 units at 22. Oh, we've only got these 13 to sell, so we don't have to think about, is it LIFO, is it FIFO? We just can tell. So for quantity, we're going to put 8. Unit cost is 9. And our total cost is 8 times 9, which is 72. So there we go, 72. Now, how many units do we have left? Well, we started with 13. Oh, I wrote that on the wrong line, sorry. 8, 9, 72. All right. $12.08. All right. So we sold 8 at $9 each. We got $72. That's our cost of goods sold. How much is left? 13 minus 8 is equal to 5, right? At $9 each. So 5 times 9 is 45. All right, so that's no different from when we did FIFO. Well, that's because we didn't have, all we had was these. So, I mean, that's the ones we sold because that's all we had. All right. Next, we make a purchase on the 14th. So on 12/14, it's 16 units at 14 each. So we bought 16 more dolls and we paid $14 a piece for them. So under purchases, we're going to put 16 as the quantity, 14 as the unit cost, and then 16 times 14 equals 224. Has nothing to do with a sale, so you just leave that alone. So now we have to update our inventory. So we still have these, and it's important to keep them in order, otherwise how will we know what's last in, what's first in? So we bring them down in order. 5 times 9 equals 45. And bring these over. 16 times 14 equals 224. Right? So 45 plus 224 is equal to 269. Right? So here's our new inventory. First in, 5 at $9. Last in, 16 at 14. All right. So we have another sale 14 units at 22 each. So we don't care about that 22. That's our revenue. We'll care about that later when we calculate revenues. But for right now, we want to know which 14 dolls did we sell. Well, we're doing last in, first out. These are the last in. So we sold 14 of those. So on 12/21, under cost of goods sold, we put 14. And how much do they cost? 14 each. Alright. So 14 times 14 is 196 for a total of 196. Alright. So we sold 14 of these. 14 of these. And doesn't matter what we sold them for. We sold them for 22. But what we got to put down here is the cost. So 14 times 14 is 196. So what's left? Well, we still have all 5 of these. 5 at 9 equals 45. And out of these, we only have 2 left, right? 16 minus 14 equals 2. And they cost us 14 each. Alright, 5 times 19 and 2 times 14 equals 28. Right? So when we add these two, 45 plus 28, we get 73. Alright, so what are our totals? Alright, well, we purchased 16 dolls, and to buy those 16 dolls, we spent $224. We sold 22 dolls, and we sold them for a total of 72 plus 196, so that's equal to 268. How many do we have left? Well, we have 5 and 2, which is 7, and we have 73. Alright, so we have 9 units at 45, we have 5 units at 9 for 45, and 2 units at 14 for 28. So 73. So this is our ending inventory, 73. This is ending inventory. This is our cost of goods sold. Alright, now remember the problem says we need to figure out gross profit, which is revenue minus cost of goods sold equals gross profit. So we know cost of goods sold is 268. Well, revenue, we know we sell them for 22 each. That's what makes our revenue, is the sales price. Units sold times sales price, right? Units sold times sales price equals revenue, right? So we sold 22. We sold them at 22 each, and that equals 484. So the revenue is the same. If you recall from our FIFO, that was our revenue. And of course it doesn't change. We sold them for the same amount. So 484 minus 268 equals 216. That's our gross profit. So if you compare with that FIFO, if you take a look at what you did before, you'll see our cost of goods sold is higher under LIFO. Therefore, our ending inventory is lower, and our gross profit is also lower. Alright? And even though we bought the same things, and we paid the same thing for them, whether it was under LIFO or FIFO, when we sold them for the same amount, we can have a different cost of goods sold and ending inventory and gross profit depending on if we choose to go with LIFO or FIFO. Alright, so I do in the next video work E6-20, so if you want to watch that one, that will give you a little extra practice.